Okay, so we are diving deep into the Fast and Furious franchise. And, when you think about it, you think souped-up cars, gravity-defying stunts, those are definitely there and they're crowd pleasers. But what is it about these movies that keeps audiences hooked for over 2 decades?
Well, it's interesting you say that because I think when you look at the Fast and Furious franchise, what's so fascinating is how it evolved
Yeah.
from, a relatively simple action flick into this global phenomenon.
Right.
And so today we're really going to sort of unpack that and explore how it constantly reinvents itself, but remains true to its core themes.
Okay, so let's go all the way back to the beginning, 2001, The Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
It was a movie that really just threw us headfirst into this world of underground street racing in L.A.
Yeah. And that first film, it laid the groundwork, but where I think the true genius lies is in how they built upon that foundation.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about the cars, it was about the characters behind the wheel.
Yeah, you're right. The chemistry between Dom and Brian, right from the get-go, this tough-as-nails racer and the undercover cop, it was electric. And that dynamic was crucial, I think, to this franchise's early success.
Absolutely. You had these two characters from completely different worlds coming together, forming this really interesting bond. And it resonated with audiences. And as the franchise grew, so did the concept of family. And it expanded beyond just blood ties to include this chosen family of outlaws and unlikely allies.
And that's a theme that's resonated across cultures.
Right.
Right? I mean, it's a very universal theme, and I think it's one of the reasons why these Fast and Furious movies, they're more than just mindless action flicks. You really see it in Dom's unwavering loyalty to his crew, the lengths that they'll go to protect each other, and that's powerful stuff.
Yeah, and it's that emotional core that allows the franchise to really push the boundaries of what's possible. Think about it. They've gone from street racing to elaborate heists to international espionage. They even launched a car into space.
They did.
Each film ups the ante, but it's the relationships that ground the spectacle.
It's like they're playing a game of action movie chess, right?
Yeah.
They constantly are raising the stakes, and they know how to keep audiences on the edge of their seats.
Exactly. And that brings us to, I think, another key ingredient in their success, which is global appeal. This isn't just a story for one specific audience.
Right.
From the diverse cast to the international settings, they've really tapped into something universal.
And that's reflected, I think, in the box office numbers, right? We're talking about a franchise that's grossed billions of dollars worldwide.
Billions.
Furious 7 alone raked in over $390 million in China.
That's right.
It's incredible.
They've gone from the streets of LA to capturing the imaginations of audiences worldwide. And this global reach really speaks volumes, I think, about their ability to connect with people from all walks of life.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got these high-octane action sequences. We've got the diverse cast. We've got these exotic locations. But it all comes back to that central theme of family, and that's what makes us invest in these characters.
Yeah.
And keeps us coming back for more.
Yeah. It's the glue that holds it all together. And it's really a testament to the filmmaker's understanding of, what truly resonates with audiences. And that is a story with heart.
A story with heart. Absolutely. So we've talked about, the heart, the global reach, the evolution of the action. But there's another layer to this Fast and Furious thing. And that is their commitment to pushing the boundaries of action filmmaking.
Totally. They're not content just to rely on CGI. They use a lot of practical effects, real stunts.
I mean, those jaw-dropping moments.
Yeah.
Like, how do they do that? I mean, just unbelievable.
Yeah, you can think about the car jumps, the tank chases, those crazy action sequences driving off buildings out of airplanes.
I mean, it's almost like they defy physics.
Well, and that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
I think they really push the limits of what we think is possible, and it makes it all the more thrilling.
It does.
And they use, this combination of CGI and practical effects to make it feel really grounded and believable, even when it's totally over the top.
Yeah, you're right. And it's not just about the explosions and the car chases, but it's like the artistry behind creating these elaborate sequences.
Yeah.
And they work with, professional stunt drivers and coordinators to make these scenes as authentic as possible.
Absolutely. And that attention to detail, it carries over even into the hand-to-hand combat.
Oh, yeah.
Which is...
Those scenes are so visceral.
Yes.
I mean, like that fight between Hobbs and Dom, Furious 7. I mean, you felt every punch, you felt every slam.
Yeah. Well, they've brought in actors, who have real combat sports backgrounds, like Dwayne Johnson, Jason Statham. And so it brings a whole other level of realism to the action.
Yeah.
It's not just choreography. These guys know what they're doing.
They're bringing their experience to the table. And those characters, Hobbs and Shaw, they become so iconic.
Right.
They've got their own spin-off now.
I mean, that speaks to the franchise's ability to adapt and expand.
Yeah.
Bring in new talent, but stay true to those core strengths that got them to the dance.
It's really fascinating to see. So what does this all mean, Fast and Furious? A global phenomenon, an action cinema game changer. But it's also this story that resonates on this deeply emotional level.
That's right. And I think it's a reminder that even in a genre driven by spectacle, it's the human element that truly connects with audiences. It's that family dynamic. It's the emotional stakes that make us care about what happens to these characters, even when they're, leaping off of skyscrapers or whatever crazy stunt they're pulling off.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so captivating.
It really is. It's a testament to the power of storytelling and how even the most, explosive action can be grounded by that strong emotional core.
So we've covered a lot of ground here talking about how the Fast and Furious franchise has really pushed the limits of action filmmaking. They've got those incredible stunts. They've got this global reach. We talked about the emotional core of these movies. But what about the future of the franchise?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, this franchise has a reputation for constantly reinventing itself.
Right.
So where do they go from here?
I mean, they've gone from street racing to literally space travel.
I know. It's hard to predict where they'll go next, but, they've always managed to surprise us.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they tackled even more outlandish scenarios, maybe even venturing into, like, full-blown science fiction territory.
Yeah, it's possible. I wouldn't put it past them.
Right.
But I think, even with all the action and the spectacle that we've come to expect, they'll stay true to that idea of chosen family. That bond that unites these characters despite all their differences.
I think you're right. And I think ultimately that's what keeps audiences coming back for more. It's a reminder that even in this world of high-octane action and crazy stunts, the human element still matters. It's the stories that we tell, the relationships that we build. That's what truly resonates with people.
Well said. So what does this all mean for you, the listener? We've uncovered, I think, some of the secrets behind the Fast and Furious franchise. This recipe of success that combines, this really incredible action with this universal theme of family.
We've seen how they've evolved, how they've adapted, and how they continue to surprise us. It really is a testament to the power of great storytelling and the enduring appeal of characters that we can all root for.
So the next time that you're watching a Fast and Furious movie, take a moment to really appreciate all of the elements that make it so captivating. It's not just about the car chases and the explosions. It's about the stories that we tell ourselves, about the families that we choose and the bonds that unite us.
I think that's a great takeaway. It's a good reminder that even in a world that sometimes feels dominated by, just constant action and chaos, there's always room for genuine human connection. And that's a message I think that we can all get behind.
That's right. And on that note, I think we'll wrap it up.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the Fast and Furious franchise. It's been a blast.
Agreed.
And we'll see you next time.